Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of death. Amen. Gentle woman, quiet light, morning star, so strong and bright, gentle mother, peaceful dove, teach us wisdom, teach us love.
Welcome to your cathedral. I'm Father Greg Sakowicz. A special thank you once again to Mark Teresi, David Jonas, providing beautiful, beautiful music and song. So Mark and David, thank you. Special thanks also to our new producer, Paula Colleen, who does a marvelous job in this ministry. So Paula, with your beautiful smile, thank you once again. A police officer is sitting at a local speed trap. A teenager flies by. After pulling the young man over, the police officer approaches the driver and says, "Young man, I've been waiting here all day for you." Teenager says, "Officer, I got here as fast as I could." Now that would have been me as a teenager. But maybe this is how most of us, or some of us, feel today. I got here as fast as I could. Today we celebrate the fourth Sunday of Advent. In less than a week, Christmas morn. So much to do and so little time left. Yet we listened in the Gospel this weekend for the fourth Sunday of Advent. Blessed is she, Mary, who trusted. Blessed is Mary, who trusted. God is with us. God is with us. Advent means waiting and preparation. Waiting and preparation for what? Christmas is more than the birth of baby Jesus. Christmas is the inbreaking of God already in our midst, in our lives, in our world. God is with us, and we celebrate Jesus, God's greatest gift to all of us. Did you ever know that the word silent and listen contain the very same letters spelled differently? Someone told that to me, that the words silent and listen have the same letters. I don't think that's a coincidence. And a great definition of coincidence, a coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. I really like that. But where do I and where do you make the time this Advent season to listen, to put this season in perspective? So much city, country, world unrest, violence on the streets, guns at an all-time high, our city, country, world divided. It goes on, and yet on a personal level, still so much to do before Christmas morn. Shopping, wrapping, buying, baking. It goes on and on. So how do we slow down to make Jesus the reason for the season? There is too much in our minds, and times we feel overwhelmed. Sue Mark Kidd, in her book, When the Heart Waits, shares this beautiful story. My grandfather was a lawyer, judge, and farmer. He was frequently busy, but I remember also he sometimes entered those golden moments of his age, relaxing. He and I, when I was a little girl, would take me fishing to one of his little ponds on his farm. He would sit and hold his cane pole over the water, becoming as still as the stumps that jutted up from the water. I usually tired very quickly of Grandpa fishing, so I'd wander around looking for dandelions, catching butterflies. One day, when I'd given up on fishing, I was playing by his old black truck when I noticed his fishing bait was still on the front seat of the truck. I remember being surprised that my grandfather would be out there fishing for over an hour and had no bait. So I grabbed the bait basket and raced it over to him. "Grandpa, how can you fish without bait?" He smiled and said, "Well, sometimes it's not the fish that I'm after, it's the fishing." I like that story. What was I fishing for this Advent season? What am I trying to catch up with this Advent season, or to catch up for this Christmas? In life, we all have priorities. We all make choices. What am I choosing this Advent? Christmas, New Year. I found a beautiful reflection entitled, "Be Happy Where You Are." It concludes with the sayings I'm going to share today, and it goes like this. Sadly, many of us continually postpone our happiness indefinitely. It's not we consciously set out to do so. We keep convincing ourselves, someday I'll be happy. We tell ourselves we'll be happy when our bills are paid, when we get out of school, we get a job, a promotion. We convince ourselves that our life will be better after we get married, have a baby, then another. Then we are frustrated that the kids are not old enough. After that, we have teenagers to deal with. We will certainly be happy when they're out of this stage. We tell ourselves our life will be complete when our spouse gets his or her act together. We get a nicer car, go on a great vacation, when we retire. The truth is, there is no better time to be happy than right now. If not now, when? Our life will always be filled with challenges. It's best to admit this to ourselves and decide to be happy anyway. One of my favorite quotes comes from Alva de Sousa. He said, "For a long time, it seemed to me that life was about to begin. But there was always some obstacle in the way, something to be gotten through first, some unfinished business, time to be served, a debt to be paid. Then life would surely begin." At last it dawned on me that these obstacles were my life. This perspective has helped me see there's no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. So treasure every moment that you have, and treasure it more if you are lucky enough to share with someone who is very special. And remember that time awaits for no one. So stop waiting until you finish school, until you go back to school, until you lose 10 pounds, until you gain 10 pounds, until you have kids, until your kids leave the house, until you start work, until you retire, until you get married, until Friday night, until you get that new car or home, until your car or home is paid off, until spring, summer, fall, or winter. Decide there is no better time than right now to be happy. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. I remember when I was 9 years old and my parakeet named Samson died. I was a little boy and devastated. I remember crying as I was burying my little parakeet in the backyard. Sitting at the kitchen table later that day, I said to my mother, "You know, Mom, I wish I had never loved my parakeet at all. It now hurts way too much." My mother said, "Greg, loving is always better than not loving. Loving is always better than not loving." Did this Advent season make me better or bitter? As we move through Christmas and the Christmas season, may the birth of Jesus, the presence of a God already in our midst, make us better and not bitter. And by the way, when you go to your bed tonight, turn all your worries over to God. God will be up all night anyway. May God bless all of you as we move from Advent to Christmas morn. Keep the season in perspective, to trust God, for God is with us. May the bears, well, better luck next year. God bless all of you. Amen.
Lo, how a rose ere blooming from tender stem hath sprung, of Jesse's lineage coming, as those of old have sung. It came a floweret bright amid the cold of winter, when half spent was the night. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin, mother and child. Holy infant, so tender